Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 142 of the Red Force Podcast. My name's Zoe Tolano. Joining me today, Christian Tolano.
Welcome.
Can't even work the board.
Well,
What happened?
before we started this, you said you wanted a kebab.
That was 4 days ago.
And then I asked, oh, do you want a kebab after this? You go, no.
Listen.
And you ruined my mood.
Listen.
Alright?
Listen. First of all, I wanted a kebab
Yeah.
2 days ago. And then you barred me.
But we had good supplies in the house.
You barred me.
We had good supplies in the house.
Now
Wasn't necessary.
you get nothing.
Ruined it.
Now you get nothing.
Ruined it. Alright? I'm thinking about lunch. You know, we're back at the regular schedule.
Season 2 begins, Christian.
Eric begins season 2 of work. Chapter 2 of Cancelords. 1 page done.
3 pages done.
No,
What do
1
you mean?
page done in the break period. So,
Project about to be released though. Hope people are excited to see it.
what project?
For Mr. Braga de Ace.
Oh, Mr. Branco the Ace. Hits on Twitter. Alright?
Couple of hits.
Hits on Twitter.
Soon to be released, Christian.
Soon to be released.
Coming days.
One Piece anime.
I got nothing to say.
Absolute
Trash.
hot trash. Alright?
Yeah, look, I don't know.
Nothing
I
happened.
don't know what they're working on at the moment. Maybe it's the Big Mom Queen stuff.
Maybe
it's
it's
Kano Big Mom.
yeah, I think it's Sanji Zoro going in.
But I saw the preview last week.
Yeah, but then maybe that's not the episode.
They put the source in the preview all the time. They put
Next,
they
I'm
have
talking about next episode.
the next
source.
episode.
Yeah.
Well, Zoro, what? They're gonna clash with they'll clash with Kirishiro and Drake next
Half
week.
the
at
planet
the
will
end.
blow up. You know.
Sanji doing nothing to Drake. Again, we asked the question, Christian. How can Sanji do any damage to any of these ancient Zoans? Now, I'm seeing a trend go out there
Good.
that people think they're big brain, mastermind, intellectuals that say power scaling doesn't matter to the plot. It's all about the story.
We talked about this for like a month in a row.
It's a cancerous trend that gives Oda the license to do whatever he wants.
Can't have it.
You need to set and stay within the rules you established.
Yeah.
Or do an anime power up. But you can't have nothing. You can't have nothing. You can't even give me... You didn't even give me a hint of Sanji training. At any point.
Never actually.
You gave me Zoro a little bit in the forest.
Well, Sanji's never trained.
Sure, but he trained the 2-year time skip.
Sure. Okay.
That's something.
That is something.
Anyway.
All right.
A little bit of a red for the
A
people.
little bit
out
of
there.
spicy red to start off with.
There we go.
Now, my projects. Show us all. Go read it. New arc, new cover art. Didn't want to bust out the cover art too soon. Too many spoilers. So we're ready to go with this arc. We're moving into Act 2, short arc.
What's your theory on cover pages, Christian? Do you think they are too heavily spoiled? Such as the new one with there was one with Kid on it, and Kid wasn't in the arc yet when the volume cover started.
For what? For which one volume?
For Wano. The one with Kid and Law on it.
Kid was in that.
Nah.
Maybe Kid wasn't in that.
Maybe it was.
He's in Udon.
I can't remember. There are spoilers though. The
Sure.
Marine for a while, Shanks is on it.
Yeah.
Before Shanks
but,
turns up.
It's weekly.
Yeah. People know.
I'm talking about future spoilers.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So, go check that out. We're moving along nicely. Alright?
Mm-hmm.
Now, anything else coming up in the One Piece community?
Well, there's a revelry happening, Christian. We will not partake this year. This time, not this year. But,
Well, that's not specifically stated.
okay.
Our invitation is open to us. We just gotta find a way to sneak in, basically.
It is on a Saturday for the US or Sunday. So, I'm in every one of them.
The list has been released. Right? The list has been released.
Do you want to pull your finger out and turn up to one of these events at any point?
Oh.
Or do I have to carry the ship again?
we got, we got Narcs in there. We got
So,
Joy Boy, but no Drits. So that's something.
no Drits.
No Drits on the
I don't know, but we'll
cover
see how this
art.
forever goes,
So we'll see, alright?
People, it's that time of the year, Christian. People talking about top 30 streams.
What?
People talking about the 3rd anniversary of the Red Force podcast. The events, Christian. You can't forget the Red Force podcast special. The award ceremony.
That's at the end of the year.
It's coming up.
It's like 3 months away.
We're in September.
Okay.
Not that far away.
Yeah.
We're also doing a top 30 revision, Christian. Now, famously, I fumbled the ball last time. Didn't put that much effort into it. Redemption.
What do you mean you fumbled the ball?
There were things that shouldn't have been where they were.
Okay.
But I don't know. Should we get in the chapter? Or what's the topic of the show? What are we doing?
Topic of the show. You gotta remember the Straw Hats in the context of the world. We always talking about power scaling. We always talking about how some Straw Hats are shit. But in the reality of the world, Straw Hats
Busted.
are the 1% busted. Alright? So can't forget that. Alright. Let's get into it. The chapter, what a great chapter. Some called to go.
A little bit premature. Now, Christian, sometimes when us reviewers, as it were, read the chapter, sometimes we misread the hype levels of what people will be interested in. Alright? How could I foresee the absolute ridiculousness on who's Hawkins talking about?
Hey.
Now, if I could predict that, Hawkins would be in the thumbnail. Who's Hawkins predicting?
But I told you that.
I didn't think it was a thing, Christian.
But I told you that.
Apparently, Drake joining the Straw Hats is also a thing. I'm like,
I told you, you buried the lead. You should have put Drake on it. You should have put Drake or Hawkins.
But we knew Drake was gonna join.
But that's the big event from the chapter. It's not silhouetted
I thought people would be more mad about the too long forms. No one cares, apparently. I care. I want to see him.
I told you. No one cared. Alright? Alright, your clickbait failed this week.
Maybe it won't. We'll see the results.
Okay, we'll see the results. Alright. Now, moving into this chapter. 990, Army of One. First thing we see, Pound yet again, getting pulled onto the ship.
Alright.
By Lawler Chiffon.
Fucking volume 900 of this fucking cover story.
Yep. About to end, maybe. Alright, we thought it was about to end.
Who knows?
Thought it was going to end on a good gag. That they just left. But no. Alright? Now, into the chapter, first thing we see, and it's pretty great, we get to see Sasuke is freed. As we all know he would be, obviously. Yes. Alright?
I'm going to put way too much effort into the Flying Six.
For him to be
not
captured
to be
for the whole time. Or for him to be incapacitated.
Should we call him the Straw Hat Six?
5. Alright?
No,
Drake's not doing
sure,
Drake's not doing shit.
sure.
Alright? I mean, we'll get to that. Sasuke is freed because of Big Mamu's Albath Spear.
Nice little interaction there, Christian. I like to see it.
Alright? Freeing Sasuke, he is impressed by Big Mom's power. Impressed.
Okay.
He's just like, he's like...
Yet again, the big Albath Spear doesn't hit anybody.
Everyone says it's impressive.
But it's impressive.
It almost killed Sasuke.
It eviscerated the tree.
And if it was down a little bit more, it would have just decapitated Sasuke.
If only.
So, there you go. Big Mom, impressive. Right? Apparently, according to Sasuke.
Now, you know this man's hype because he's drinking out of a whiskey bottle.
Of course.
Or a sake bottle.
Of course. He's upset. He wants beef with Denjiro for betraying him. Will that happen? No, it won't.
I can't see it where it happens.
Because he has to go up to Kaido, and then Denjiro's fighting Kaido, and then he steps in. I don't think it's going to happen.
Maybe we'll find Zoro.
Everyone say Jinbei because I think he's a fisherman. Well, is he a fisherman?
What's with the mirror? What's with the obsession with the mirror matches?
People love the mirror matches.
I don't know why.
It is what it is. Alright, people love the mirror matches. Apparently,
it's confusing.
Apparently, that is foreshadowing, because Zoro always fights a swordsman, even though that's not true.
He fights two swords.
Alright. Alright.
It's like saying Sanji always fights a dude that uses kicking attacks. He's done it once.
Meanwhile,
Twice maybe.
In the Skull Dome, The Minks are on top of the Skulldome. Minks fighting Jack's squad while Kaido just sits there and laughs like a villain. Okay. Alright.
What's the play here, Christian by Oda? Are we gonna have the Minks take out Jack off paddle? Possible. Is Jack gonna get back up? Will Luffy fight Jack like he said he would? Luffy usually does what he says. The Minks go, no, Kinemon. Don't pull out your sword.
Yeah.
Don't pull out that hype sword. We'll take care of it. Boss Kinemon.
My thought on this is that for some reason, Neko and Ino can't take out Jack, which is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Ridiculous. Right? For some reason, they can't do it. And then when they're about to lose, Monkey D comes in, Rio wins. And saves the day.
Jack does look cooked.
And save the day, and then Monkey D and the Scabbers attack Kaido.
Jack was cooked.
He does look damaged.
Bloodied.
He's bloodied. He's definitely bloodied.
He is bloodied.
Alright? He sees that Neko eating transformation.
We got $5 over here. We got $5 over here. Heavy again.
Alright.
So is the moral of this episode Sweetie's opinion doesn't matter? Also, why wasn't last week's Dono read? Heavy, when you give me irrelevant donations to read like that, why would I read them? You gotta give me something better than that.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit more money from Heavy.
Alright.
That's all I'm saying. You gotta pull your weight, Heavy.
Now, are you supposed to read the thing in brackets? I don't know if that...
It's public.
Alright.
It's,
Well,
not a private message.
well, it's in brackets. Well, it's in brackets. You know? Anyway. Back to the Minks. Alright?
Mm-hmm.
Jack's sweaty. Jack... sweaty when the Minks come out in Sulong form. Now, we don't get to see it because the Inu Neko versus Jack, I think, will be a full chapter.
Question for you, Christian.
Yeah.
Why did we not get a transformation sequence?
We've already had
it's
one.
fodder
Though.
for it.
We've already had
you
one.
You need it for Neko and Inu.
We just need their reveals. We don't need the transformation. We don't need to waste 6 pages of transformation that we got for Carrot.
Yes, we do.
Alright? I don't think we do. Because we got a lot this chapter. Got a lot done this chapter, alright?
I'll just,
So, there you go.
The anime can't even do anything with that.
They'll sort it out.
They'll somehow have a transformation sequence.
They'll sort it out.
Now Toshi will somehow turn up.
They'll find a way, alright? Don't worry about the anime. They'll find a way. Alright? Kinemon thinks he's gonna step in and beat Jack. Hilarious. That's a joke.
He's like, let me pull out my sword. They're like, no, Kinemon.
I like how the Scabbards are also just standing there while the Minks are trying to break through the barricade of Jack's army.
This is the thing with,
team.
speed in One Piece. It's like, you could just jump past Jack.
No, we're gonna wait. We can't get stuck in the back. We're gonna clear the battlefield so we can fight Kaido.
I like how Kaido's just standing there as well, just having a gaze, just having a look.
Yeah, just let the goons sort it out, and then we'll fight when it's ready time to fight.
Must be a thick skull they're fighting on, Christian.
It's very thick, alright?
Jack's just slapping the ground with his trunk.
Ook loves it. Alright, Ook loves the trunk.
At least no one's kicking the trunk.
Alright. Jack is very tanky.
Now,
would you say that's his biggest attribute?
I will remind you that Neko flipped Jack.
That's true.
Without Sulong.
Yes.
And Inu blocked Jack's trunk.
It should be a destruction.
This should have been but they did just jump in, apparently.
Yeah, they just jumped in.
So
because they were waiting.
Maybe we're gonna Neko Inu fight next week.
That's right. So get ready for that. It's gonna be hype. It should be an absolute slaughter. Alright?
Destruction.
Absolute slaughter. Maybe they hit him so hard that he falls through the Skulldome and then Luffy finishes him off.
Yeah, maybe.
Alright? So maybe that's how we sort that issue out. It's not that much of an issue, alright? Alright, Jack is a tank. That's what he does. He just absorbs damage.
Sure.
Alright? He's got that massive health pool. He's got all the stamina.
Defense.
Alright? He just takes damage, alright? That's what he does.
Yes.
Now, moving on to a different area. We go back to the stage area in the Skulldome. King roasting Queen for fucking up at Udon. What are you? You're a clown.
Oh, Babanuki.
Babanuki, the Tama's ability fucked everything apparently. So Queen looking like a stooge. King, like, yeah, what?
But he
you're
expects
garbage.
it.
He expects him to be incompetent.
It seems like the entire Carter organization doesn't like Queen because he constantly fucking things up, maybe.
Maybe because he's goofy, he doesn't take things seriously, you know.
Carter likes him.
Carter respects the strength, alright? Queen, you know, fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Alright? Meanwhile, Drake talking to walks past Hawkins, being like, "Hey Hawkins."
The sequence is a little bit strange here, but we'll talk about it.
He's like, "Hey Hawkins, you wanna portray Carter at this point? It would be a pretty good time to portray Carter."
Yeah.
And then Hawkins is just like this.
You triggered my trap card!
Alright?
He did.
And then he's like this. And then he's like this.
If you truly want to know, open your mind!
Because he delivers us the most anime line of all time. A 1% chance of a man surviving. Alright? A certain man surviving. Can't forget that.
Certain man, certain island.
1%, you know, giving us the percentages.
I think we've talked about this before, but no one talks like this.
Drake is Hawkins is the ultimate anime man.
He is,
alright?
indeed.
Giving out percentages, being vague, not telling us what's going on. You know, I have ultimate god cards in my deck.
Sure.
Just telling us information we no one needs to know in context.
Sure.
Right?
Just out of nowhere, just saying it.
Sure. Alright. So there you go. There's Hawkins. Now, a lot of people saying this is Luffy, this is Law, this is Kid. Alright?
Christian interprets it as
But in the context of the chapter, I'm gonna say it's Drake. Because to me, it sounds like Hawkins already knows Drake's a traitor, which he does. Because later in the chapter, he says that.
So, but yeah, he'd know because he was in the prison.
Yeah, that's what he
before.
says. He says it has to be you. So it's, in my mind, he's reading Drake's future and goes, 1% chance, sucks to be you. Yeah. Drake even says, I wouldn't want to be that guy. Dramatic irony, right? Dramatic irony, because it's him, alright?
Sure.
Alright?
It's just weird. It's like, Drake would be like, who you talking about, though?
Doesn't answer.
Are you
doesn't
talking about Monkey D? Are you talking about Law?
Doesn't
who
say
are you
that.
talking about?
That's some people say it's Kaido. I don't know about that. Now, is Hawkins ever going to reveal this? No.
Listen, alright?
Alright?
Via the context and what happens next, it's probably Drake.
In the context of the chapter, it makes the most sense to be Drake. It could be Luffy.
How could this conversation ever get struck up?
Yeah,
Monkey
D only had a 1% chance.
So why aren't they talking about Luffy fucking up the joint? Why aren't they talking about Carter or the situation? They're just chilling, but like...
Now, a 1% chance means 100% chance. We say that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The percentage is irrelevant.
The percentage is irrelevant.
Right? Now, Christian, let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Why not... What's going on here? Why not just be like...
Yeah.
Yes or no? A man will die. A man won't die.
Percent chance, alright? Because that's how anime works.
Because
right?
Luffy says... Because Capone says they have the power to change the future. So it's a percentage.
Yeah, but Hawkins has his ability work. You know, is it accurate?
Now, we are assuming that Drake has been called by Who's Who and he's walking in that direction and somehow makes Hawkins on the way.
Yes.
Now, is Hawkins involved in the setup that happens
But Hawkins is just there.
He's just chilling there.
Because they just walk past and Hawkins just says 1%.
But does he know the setup? And when will Drake...
Because Hawkins does walk into the room when they fuck up Drake.
When will Hawkins join our side? That we all know who will.
With the 1% chance. Maybe that's, part of it. But if it's Monkey D, okay, that's fine.
Very particular set of circumstances where this sequence would play out.
Yeah, the time's weird, but it's fine. It works, alright?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's fine. Luffy, it could be Luffy, but in my mind, it's most likely Drake.
And also, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's
it also doesn't
such
matter.
a fun line, but like the 1% chance. Right?
But Oda got the community, because that's all they're talking about.
Alright. So, we're moving on from that little thing, alright? Back to the Straw Hats at the battle. The samurai and the ninjas are clashing, alright? A big club comes in, One from
Oh,
one
shit.
of the numbers are shit. Zoro cuts it. Hype.
catches
You know,
it.
Jinbei blocks the base. Sanji does nothing.
Just having a
Is
look.
that, what does that mean? Is that something?
You did something last week.
All right. Is that something? There might be something. All right. Is Sanji getting pushed
Now,
out?
memes out there, people out there pointing out that the paddling sequence of the Straw Hats fighting now seems to go Zoro, Jinbei, Luffy.
Or Luffy, Zoro, Jinbei, or whatever. Yeah.
Well, it's usually Zoro starts and then Jinbei's in the middle and then Luffy's at the end to finish it.
All right.
That's what people are saying.
Sanji getting pushed out, perhaps. I don't think so. All right?
Okay.
But Sanji, give us some action. All right? Luffy comments that the whole team needed to beat Oars back in Thriller Bark, but now we're way stronger and I can solo these pieces of shit. All right?
Sure.
And now, it's just so great to see past arcs get referenced, past events get referenced, because it makes the Straw Hats seem real, and they have memories, and they have personalities.
Also, connects the worlds together. It doesn't seem like a
Connects the worlds.
separate individual thing.
Now let me ask you this question. Why is Oda constantly dropping Oars, references to Thriller Bark?
A lot of references to Thriller Bark.
Alright.
A lot of them.
So is Moria coming in?
We assume so.
It really makes sense.
People said that Mihawk would be involved in this arc, though.
Because apparently
Samurai.
Mihawk has history with Wano. Alright?
Theoretically.
Otherwise he's a fraud. Apparently,
No
according,
one's that strong on Wano.
according to that. Alright? According to that sentiment. Alright?
Mihawk 100% fought Odin at some point. That's a guarantee. I'll take that to the bank.
Just to hype up Mihawk.
I'll take that
And
to the
hype
bank.
up- and hype up
Odin. I'll
Odin?
take it to the bank.
Okay. Alright. So Luffy goes Gear 4 and he's about to destroy one of the numbers. Hyogoro references that Luffy looks like a Buddha god. It doesn't really mean anything, it's just what he looks like.
We already knew that.
Yeah, we already knew that. It's not like he has a new form or anything. It's fine, alright?
Now, we commented on this with the ship and the Gear 4 usage. Starting to get spammy.
Has Luffy mastered it?
Starting to get a little bit too common. Now, we all anticipate a new form.
Sure. But has Luffy mastered Gear 4?
Still no Snake Man.
In Wano.
Yeah. Only Bounce Man.
And he needs that power, alright? He needs that full power. So, has he mastered Gear 4? And will that ever be stated, or will that
Just be
No.
implied via
Just be
usage.
implied. I don't think it would ever be stated, but yeah. Looks like he's spamming Gear 4 way
He was
more.
trading in Gear 4. At least we got confirmation Luffy was trading.
That's all we did, alright? That's all we did, alright? Meanwhile, we cut back. Drake is all fucked up. Guess what, Eric?
Busted.
It was a trap. Who's who? Busted Drake. He lured him to Queen. They fucked him up. He was discovered. He is the man who let Law escape. They want to know why. They want to know answers. They don't know he works for the Marines. Drake in trouble. All right.
Sure.
Then somehow an explosion goes off.
Is that Drake just jump out of the window?
Drake makes an explosion, escapes out the window, decides to join Monkey D. Now, before that happens, there's an interesting line. Drake says,
The official.
"Is there any way to go back to the Navy?" No, that comes later. Then that could mean, as in later, as in after the battle, as in months later, but also could mean
After my mission's done.
After my mission's done, sure. But that also could mean that the Marines are planned.
Also a
to
little
come
picture
in.
of Kobe in there.
Sure, little Kobe
Just for us
reference.
to remember, Oda reminding us of various elements, Christian, that may or may not play into Wano.
The sword unit, the Marines keep on getting brought up.
Moria.
The events outside of Wano. I think there's going to be a Marine presence in Wano. It's too much.
People forget about that warship.
Yeah. So Drake says no. That part comes later. So that could mean the Marines are turning up later. Could mean that. Could be a hint. All right. So keep that in mind. Drake uses Excalibur on a number as Luffy uses Kongan. People saying the betrayal's equal. Drake, hybrid form equals Gear 4.
Shout out to Portrayal, the most arbitrary, subjective thing you could ever talk about.
I mean, are we saying that I don't know, dude. Whatever. Okay. We knew X-Drake is strong. Hybrid form's his strongest form.
Is Room equal to Gongan?
That's hard. That's that's
Listen,
more
alright.
retarded.
A shout out to these ancient giants that can take a Gongan.
I mean, they're all sized,
They're not zombies though.
But-
That was the issue. It's for the bark.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't know about the issue of zombie-ness.
They fuck him up. He gets back up.
They never fuck him up. Alright? Luffy comes in and uses nightmare form and wins.
Yeah, but Mori was piloting with the stretch.
Yeah, but the Straw Hats kind of fail. They do little combos, and then...
Would he
Luffy
be
comes
able
in.
to stretch if he wasn't a zombie? What do you think about that?
Yes, because Mori's weird fucking
Does that just
shadow...
rip his socket out of his arm, or just
because
automatic stretch?
It's like stretch.
Can he
it's
do that
weird.
to himself?
Mori, I don't see why not. Alright, Mori's got weird powers.
Alright.
So, Drake asks Luffy to join his side. He's a one-man army.
Luffy's like, who are you?
He's on his own. He can't tell him why. Classic anime. I can't tell you why, but please, I must join you because I am a one-man army.
Okay. You're an asset.
There you go. We got an
Does
asset.
Luffy know who Drake is? They have never met, I believe.
There will be a line that's like, oh, he's a supernova,
Luffy doesn't know that
Dude,
shit.
Luffy, he remembers Kid.
Laura Drake will talk shit.
Because I don't know if Luffy ever met Drake at Shibondi.
Nah.
I don't think so. So, Drake's here. He's strong. He's an asset. He's going to help. Alright?
Yes.
It's another chess piece to us, which we all knew was going to happen. Alright? We all knew that.
Next.
Hawkins. Alright? Let's hope. And there you go. There's the chapter. I enjoyed this chapter. I think this chapter's better than last week's. Pieces moving. Events happening. We're getting...
You don't get no hype speech this week, though.
But we get hype events.
Yeah.
We get Drake. We get Minks. We get Luffy acknowledging.
Are we interested in the Straw Hats fighting the numbers?
It's
Are we
just
interested in
to
it?
show how far they've come.
Can we just start with King and Queen?
No.
Please.
Right? No, you know that's not the answer, alright? Gonna break through the fauna and the trash.
The photo's almost done.
Alright? And then move in, alright? So, Luffy acknowledging that Thrill the Bark existed is crazy, alright?
Yeah, sure.
Absolute insanity. And I'd love to see it. I want to see more of that, alright? Please, Oda, please.
Now, the gaming agency brings up a good point, Christian, that we talked about many months ago about why Drake really shouldn't be an ally. Did destroy Tama's village.
Oh, yeah. But
Point of conflict with
They don't-
Luffy, who told,
they don't know
Tengu.
that, though.
Luffy told Tengu
About what?
about Drake destroying the village.
Well, Luffy did say
Tengu
shit.
told Luffy.
Yeah.
Luffy doesn't know who Drake is. It's weird, alright? Why set that up? It'll end up being like, I didn't do it, it was someone
it'll
else.
be some bullshit like,
My hands are clean.
I didn't kill anyone, I let them all escape.
They're
It'll be some
all
bullshit like
in
that.
the flower capital or something.
Yeah. It'll be
Some
some bullshit.
nonsense.
It'll be some bullshit like, I made them
he-
escape to a secret
He's
hideout.
also supposed to be a good Navy man now, because he's with Kobe.
Yeah, it'll be some shit like that
So
if it's ever brought
it'll all
up.
turn out.
Yeah. Alright. It'll be some bullshit like that. Also, is it really that bad if you didn't kill anyone?
Destroying a village. Pillaging a village.
I don't know that we ever, like, sure, that's a piece, that's something there, but we're always like, yeah, but he's part of the Navy, and he's gonna betray Kaido, so the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Alright.
Yeah.
So there you go. So I don't
Kid's
know.
not a good guy. So a little
Kid's
bit,
awful.
So-
Yeah. Analyze with Kid.
But we all know Christian Law doesn't like killing people. So he's
true.
a good man.
That's true. Lord does like killing people.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently. Alright. Ratings.
Solid 7-8. Christian, I'd say 7.5. We'll go
Would you
7.5.
say it's better than last week?
No, I wouldn't say it's
Why would you say that?
Because I liked Frankie talking shit.
Alright. I'm going to say this week's better. I'm going to say this week's an 8 out of 10. It said it was 7 last week. 8 out of 10 this week. Very enjoyable chapter.
Hey, we got players back. Sasuke's ready to go. Who's he gonna fight? What's gonna happen?
Also, King saying, hey, go after the Straw Hat. Straw Hat matchups confirmed. Straw Hat matchups confirmed. Leave Yamato alone. So Ulti's back into play.
Do you
Maria's
think
back
there's
in
that
play.
much left to go through?
Yes, we need Straw Hat matchups. Oda clearly setting up Straw
But
Hat matchups.
surely there's not 30 chapters left.
There is. I'll tell you why. A chapter each for all the Straw Hats for their fights.
Yeah.
Right? And then the big commanders. Right? And then what's happening with Big Mom? What's happening with Marco? What's happening with Law? You know, what's happening with all the numbers? There's still shit to do.
Okay.
Right? Straw Hat matchups coming in hot. We got Black Maria. We got Ulti back on. Ulti's done with Yamato. So Ulti's back in the picture. We got 5, flying 6. Who gets who? Alright? Who gets who?
We'll see.
Who's who? Back on the table. He's not going to fight Queen.
That was never gonna happen.
I know that was never going to happen, but he's back. Alright?
All these lore items about how crews work that don't end up turning out.
Sure, but
Anyway.
we're getting Straw Hats matchups and I like to see it.
Is it going to be a jumbled, little bit of a montage next chapter? What do we?
I want to see a full showcase of Neko and Ito next week.
I don't
or
think
next
it's gonna
chapter.
happen. I think you're going to get cut.
Next chapter. Alright? Because we're on break.
We are on break, so I guess it's the Ace novel time.
It's time for part 2 of the Ace novel.
Shout out to Boichi.
Shout outs. Alright? To Boichi. Alright?
Apparently, people slandering him on Twitter, Christian.
Eggs got plenty of slander
They
here.
don't like Whitebeard.
Right?
They don't like sometimes the angles on the mouth get strange.
I mean, by saying people, they mean you.
No, people.
I mean, you know.
I comment on his lighting effects, which he refuses to use on body, but he'll do on clothes, which perplexes me even more so.
I told you, it's for clarity. He wants to show his render. You know.
Alright.
Now, depending on the time of the reverie will depend on when we stream, obviously, because you know we want people to tune in. Also, we might be on it, so we don't want to fuck those schedules up.
Sure, we'll figure it out.
So it's probably gonna be on Monday. I'm gonna assume.
We can do whatever we like.
All right. So we'll see. We'll see when we actually do the Ace novel. But we're doing the Ace novel part 2 next week. Is it? Well, I mean, it's got Shanks in it, so that's automatically better.
Sure.
Right? And speaking of Shanks, it's time for How Strong is Shanks? How strong is Shanks? Every week, we come to you with the question of how strong is Shanks? And every week we answer, Shanks is the strongest. Shanks is the God King.
Confirmed.
But every week, there are people coming out of the woodwork, right? Saying, Kaido's the strongest.
Ridiculous.
Saying, Dragon's the strongest. Saying, sweatiest man on the planet, Alkayudu's the strongest.
Kaido's sweaty.
Sweaty, alright? People say Mihawk's the strongest. That's interesting. It's wrong. Doesn't even make any sense, right? Some people say Blackbeard's the strongest, huh?
I don't see many people say that.
And there are even people out there that say Aimu is the strongest. Come on, what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
It's interesting.
And every week we bring 100% genuine, factual information to the table to prove these people wrong. And this week's evidence is Sensei's so strong that if Hawkins was to read the chance of Shanks' survival, it would confuse and astound him And Shank's chance of survival would turn out as infinite. Hawkins would be so confused by this reading. What does that mean? How does that work? Right? Hawkins' life would be changed forever after that reading. His whole mindset would be exposed. He would be a shell of his former self. How could one man have an infinite chance of survival?
Would it be infinite plus minus?
It would be infinite times infinite. Alright. Hawkins wouldn't know what to do with that information, alright? Now, Jake is the strongest, Jake is the God King. On to topic of the show. The Straw Hats in context. Alright? Straw Hats in context. You know, this chapter really reminds me of how strong the Straw Hats really are.
Sure.
Because we got fodder samurai. We got fodder ninjas being like, oh, crazy Straw Hats. Look how crazy they are. Alright? Now, every single Straw Hat is in the 1% of the strongest characters in the verse. Right? We're talking civilians, fodder, marine goons. Alright? Every single Straw Hat could take out hundreds of these characters.
Captains, marine vice admirals, perhaps.
Perhaps, alright? The Straw Hats could take out hundreds of these goons without even breaking a sweat. Alright? You gotta remember how much every single Straw Hat brings to the combat table. Right? Waves of goons they can take out. It's basically a Warriors game, Power Warriors, right? Just taking out massive swaths of enemies.
Bolts,
right?
mechs.
You can't forget that, alright? Now, we're always stuck, right, in the power scaling. Nami is as strong as this other character. The shit in the against commanders, they got no chance, right? We always say this. But you have to remember that, like, Nami could destroy an entire village on her own.
Sure. Easily.
Usopp could destroy an entire marine fleet. Not fleet. Maybe not a fleet. Maybe a fleet. Could at least destroy an entire marine battalion on his own. Alright?
Sure.
Just goons coming in with guns. Usopp sniping them out with his plans. Destruction. Alright? So we gotta put that in context. Because the context the community always talks about, alright,
against the best.
Is against the best of the best, right? And that's where we're at the story.
Sure.
We're fighting the best of the best. We're fighting Emperor's crews, right? Fighting Emperor's crews. But even they have fodder.
They do. There's a lot of fodder,
Right?
actually. And apparently the fodder matters.
Apparently, according to Oreo, the fodder matters, alright?
Mm-hmm.
So, we gotta remember. You gotta keep that context in mind. Because otherwise, you say ridiculous shit like Nami's fodder. No. Nami's far beyond fodder.
Nami can take out thousands of fodder.
Exactly.
So,
right? So work that out. All right. What's Nami's Doriki? All right. All right. What's Nami's Doriki?
Could pre-time skip Nami beat Rob Lucci? What do you think about that comment?
That's a question for the ages.
Okay.
All right.
For the ages.
All right. That's a question for the ages. All right. Did you see that martial arts move in Zo? Right. Did you see that staff skill?
You keep on bringing up those two
Did
panels.
you see that staff skill in Zo against Wanda? Did you see it? All right. Did you see that non-canon anime filler of Nami blocking Cracker?
Are you giving her Zeus?
She doesn't have Zeus right now.
I mean, she'll have it back at some point.
I mean, you know, people say that, right?
Big Mom needs transport now.
She got Prometheus,
Zeus is not that fast. Prometheus.
but still, she can run. She got that running form. Can't forget.
Okay.
So, I think it's important to really understand that. Because otherwise, like, to the general public in One Piece, Straw Hats are gods amongst men.
Yes.
Alright? And every single one of them is extremely
Can
powerful.
you imagine being a goon in this world? And there's like Kaido.
What do you even do? All right.
Can't do anything.
What do you
What
even do? It's like
can't do nothing.
it's like a walking nuclear weapon. What are you gonna do?
Maybe even greater so.
It's crazy. All right. Moving on. Nice quick little topic of the show, just to remind people. People need to be reminded. All right. Moving on to the Thunderdome.
Thunderdome, Christian.
Now you gotta let the transition play.
What do we got?
Now Eric made these transitions, and they're too long.
They're not that long.
All right. He doesn't even know how long they last. All right. Thunderdome this week, MBDD. But before that, how do you join?
Patreon, Christian. $5 and up, you get to run the bracket.
Run the bracket. All right, do it. You know what the Shigi going out in the first round is an absolute shameful display against Ryuma. Okay? Now, this week is a interesting pick. Big Boy versus Big Boy. Urashima versus Yama.
Urashima.
Big wrestling guy in Wano versus the fat guy. The fat guy from Skypiea.
The one that Robin destroys.
Robin the One destroys, yes.
Does Yama have any particular skills that we can bring up? Now, if you remember,
He does have martial arts capabilities, right?
Yes.
He does have dials.
Alright. Able to match equal Luffy's half gear 3. That's more than Yama will ever do.
I think it's fair to say Urashima is stronger than Yama.
Yeah, Urashima wins.
And that's obvious, right? But I can't remember. Does Yama have mantra?
Probably, but, it doesn't really matter.
Doesn't really matter.
Does he have dials?
He does have dials.
Will that matter?
I don't know if that would matter. But I think it's safe to say Urashima takes us out. Alright?
Sumo Wrestling Pro.
Yeah. There you go. Moving on to questions.
Christian Corner, Christian. We're back.
We're back in the question corner. First question comes in from Chrissy D. Alright? I think I have a good idea.
Okay.
Would you guys be interested in doing a One Piece draft with other YouTubers /subscribers /friends? It would look like a fantasy league or a football fantasy league. Perhaps principles. What is it?
How do we score points?
He explains it. All right. He's got his whole rule set. All right. Participants go one by one and draft a team /crew and are able to pick people from across the One Piece world. Perhaps reads revolutionaries, etc. For example, say 6 people are participating. Yeah, it's a draft. It's snakes. We know how drafts work.
Yes.
Right? It would be however many members per team. You would have a salary cap.
All right. How do we score points?
Yeah, you would have all the fantasy football. You have salary cap. You can't just get all the strong people. You gotta get a team. All right. So you can't have all the emperors because you'd have salary cap.
Yeah, you go over.
Okay. All right. How do you determine winners? How do you determine? He hasn't said how you score points or how that works. Just the draft.
All right.
That's the hardest thing. Because
how do we play the game?
We can't even agree that emperors are stronger than admirals. How are we gonna dish out? How are we gonna dish out stats? How are we gonna dish out salary caps? How? How are we gonna
trades
rules? How are we gonna dish out rules? Is it completely dice roll rules? Is it?
How do we establish stats?
Impossible. Now we have run a similar thing to this on Pokemon, the Pokemon League.
Yes.
All right. Absolute shit show because no one could be.
No one wanted to battle.
All right.
And it was unbalanced.
Well, maybe that's the point of it. to be unbalanced because you
Yeah,
you
but,
draft
like,
chic Pokemon, good Pokemon.
Yeah, it sort of worked.
Sort of worked, all right. But we have tried this before with a
But
group
you
of
know,
friends.
Pokemon has set stats.
Set stats. You can set things up. You know, there's more things to go from there. How does it work?
What's kind of strength stat compared to Big Mom?
It's crazy, right? If you can work this out, maybe, all right? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's do something else. Next question. From Mozab, how much does artistic perspective shapes One Piece? Or how much does your artistic perspective shape One Piece? When I see no haki whenever there should be, I always wonder if that's an artistic thing. Does the image just look better without gloss black? He's talking about why doesn't he show haki? What's going on?
It could be a compositional issue, but I don't agree that it wouldn't be that much of a problem. I would say that show haki when it's used so the audience knows when it's used. That would be my response.
Yeah. Now, Marine, post-time skip's different from pre-time skip. That's a different story.
If Oda is making that choice to sacrifice clarity for compositional reasons, I would not suggest that.
It's not like it's a beam coming out of their hands.
Yeah.
It's just a shading technique. That's very distinct.
Well, it'll change the composition, but
yeah, but it's very distinct.
Worth it. Whatever.
And it's always the focal point when someone uses haki.
Yeah.
Because it's an attack.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't think it's an artistic thing. It's just like weird with Rio because it's still kind of loose.
I guess we'll see what it looks like when Luffy uses it.
From Left Jab, do you think who still wants to kill Queen, or was that just messing with Drake to set him up? Also, out of the Flying Six, who do you think will we see hybrid? Who will we see beyond Wano? None of them, except for Drake. But does Kusu still want to kill Queen? It's never going to happen, even if he does.
Yeah.
Because during this war, he's got other things to worry about. It could have just been a setup, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to happen. All right? That's that question. Moving on from Kennedy? Yeah, Kennedy. Shanks is the strongest, Shanks is the Gold King. Correct. All right? This man knows.
I'm liking it already.
Now to the question. How many more chapters is Oda tease Sulong Neko and Ino actual appearance? Another tease would actually set me off. Alright?
Come on. Can't do it three times.
You can't do another silhouette. He's done it once with Neko, didn't actually transform.
Odin was a silhouette.
That was a fake out.
Odin was a silhouette for a long time.
Alright? He's done it once with Neko, silhouette fake out, but that was a fake out. Now he showed it.
I'm not sure the silhouette is getting him much mileage. I'm not sure the purpose.
It's weird. He's just like, tune in next week and you might see it. Okay.
It's like no one cares what Odin looks like, Oda. No one cares.
It's weird. You're saving it. It's crazy, alright? The silhouette's out of control recently. We got Green Ball. We had Odin for so long. Now Neko and Inu so long.
Odin
Crazy.
was no reason as well. It's not like a character that we already know.
Yeah, alright? Craziness, alright? From Heavensberry. Are the numbers stronger than Dofi since Luffy instantly used gear 4 against them?
Hard to say, Christian. Heavy's got another $5. Why is the lighting so off today? We just decided to do a little bit of natural lighting this week, Christian. Now, Kongan didn't kill Dofi. I imagine these numbers are knocked out.
It's a meme question, alright?
But they're big boys.
Obviously not, guys.
Well, are
obviously
the
not.
animals in Luffy's training ground stronger than Dofi?
Yeah.
Because he need the King Kong gun. The Roskina animals.
The Roskina animals stupid, alright? Let's not get crazy, alright? From Son D Lollipop, are we actually going to see any of the fights between Kaido and the Scabbers, or are we just going to see Luffy get up there with them all wrecked? Well, they haven't started fighting yet.
I assume they're gonna fight with Luffy. I always assume that. They're not gonna fight by themselves. They're gonna fight with
Yeah,
Luffy.
we're waiting for Luffy.
Surrogate,
Yeah.
Odin, the man who will free Wano.
We're waiting for Luffy to get up there to start the fight.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting from this chapter. Might change, but that's what I'm getting from this chapter. From Shield or B Shield. What do you think about Law potentially being a part of Sword? It's too much.
Nah.
You know, there's already one in
He's
there.
already a D, connections to Crozon. He's mystery enough, alright?
Sengoku, that meeting in Dressrosa.
How many mysteries does this man need?
It's a little much, right? It's a little much.
He was a warlord. Did I not know he was part of Sword? Who's got the government documents?
Sengoku. Alright?
Is the Sword unit so covert?
World government doesn't know.
No one knows.
It's a marine specialty, alright?
No one knows.
Alright? So Sword, I don't think Law's a part of it. I think Law and Drake made a deal, whatever that is. Maybe Law has some inside information on Drake.
Alright.
Maybe he is part of it. Maybe Law do.
Law knows. There's a deal with Law.
Alright, there's a deal with Law. Alright. From Funky Zypher. With Drake stating in this chapter that he is a lone force, do you think the chance of Marines coming to Wano go down to 0? No, because of that statement.
Is it time for the Navy?
Yeah.
No,
Navy's coming in. I still say the Navy's coming in.
Well, he's saying he's a lone force of Luffy because he's not going to say he's a part of the Navy.
He says, I can't tell you why, but I'm a lone force.
Yeah.
Right? So, he's left Kaido's,
Situation.
team. So I think that's more about it, alright? Also, will we get a Blackbeard or Shanks appearance this arc?
We hope Shanks turns up at any point, Christian.
Shanks can turn up at any point, honestly.
Shanks next week. Why not?
Blackbeard also could show up at any point.
We'll get massive moves after Wano's ended, for sure.
I think it's a possibility. I really do think it's a possibility. From Captain said, what's up with the thumbnail this week, lol? And why'd you choose Minks and not Drake? That's what I said. Eric didn't listen. Alright? Eric didn't listen. Now, in my opinion...
I should have done with a trap card with like 1% on it.
My opinion is...
Would it be a spell or a trap card?
It's a trap because it's not going to happen.
Right.
Alright? It's a trap. But my opinion is, I think Eric wanted to do a quick thumbnail. And he's like, a silhouette's pretty quick.
I legitimately thought no one would care about Drake.
Why?
Because...
It's the big thing.
Alright.
There are people who care about Drake, and there's people who care about Kid. And I know you don't understand that.
I see the Kid people.
There are Drake people
I don't
out there.
necessarily see the Drake people.
There are Drake people out there, alright? There are Drake people.
The Kid people are very loud, Christian.
They are, alright? Next question. From Bazara. Any predictions on what Oda gonna do on Chapter 1000? We want to see it. We want to see the God King. Right?
It's so hard to land 1,000 though. It's so hard to land that fucking plane.
It's either going to be Luffy's new form, realistically. Luffy's new form.
It's going to be something hype and then people will be like, yeah, that was 1,000.
Because we're 10 chapters away.
I'm not necessarily of the mind that there's some massive event that he's got planned for.
Because look, we're 10 chapters away. Kaido's not getting defeated in 10
but,
chapters.
you know, there'll be fanfare, the cover of Shonen Jump, many color pages.
Sure.
Probably some announcement of a separate manga.
An announcement of a movie.
Yeah.
There'll be heaps of shit announced around it. But realistically, Luffy new form.
Yeah, that's possible.
Realistically, Shanks is too soon the battle for Shanks.
What are we on? 90?
90.
10 chapters.
10 chapters.
That's possible.
I don't know about that. I think Shanks turns up in a dire situation.
Kicks the big mom pirate ship down next on 1,000.
That's crazy, alright? Now, is it going to be like, looks like the Straw Hats are defeated in chapter
What if he
9?
just cuts the Shantra in half instead of kicking it down? Just to end them completely.
Just to end the meme?
Yeah.
I would appreciate it, alright?
Okay.
Now, is it going to be the chapter where it looks like they failed?
Whatever,
Maybe,
Was 900 massive? Debatable.
Alright, but chapter 1000 is too close for something insane to happen. We could cut out into the world.
We could end Act 3, perhaps.
Mihawk's captured. Now that's insane.
Hilarious.
That's insanity. Alright? No one talking about Mihawk if he's captured.
Many genders will be shattered. But the Navy agenda increases. And we don't like that.
We don't. Alright? Will Greenball be revealed? As Odin.
That's not a thing. Next question, alright?
Alright,
We
next
can talk
question.
about Chapter 1000 for whatever.
From Beyond 13. How did Drake come off mentally to you? Fine.
Yeah, he's alright.
I kind of thought he
Can't
had
take on who's who and quit.
a harder mentality, and then he slipped, and he jump shifted in one chapter. He got caught. He got found
He
out.
got busted.
What do you want him to do?
What is he gonna say?
What's it to say? He got busted. I mean,
You can't take on King and Queen.
it's not like he decided to betray them. He got busted.
And Luffy's already fucking up the joint, might as well join him.
Yeah. And why are all the Marine spies so soft and all the pirate spies natural born thugs? You know, Virgo, you know.
Because Navy are soft.
I don't think Drake really had a choice, to be honest. Alright? Don't really think that. But whatever.
Drake never came off hard to me anyway. He's just kind of...
It's got kind of a goofy design.
Yeah.
So, you know, Drake. You know, it's fine. I think it's fine. From to Sauce. If Oda trying to portray Big Mom as unskilled fighter or she can't get hurt, she throws attacks that never hit anyone, but also are very strong, and she can hit by anyone but doesn't take any actual damage.
She can hit Kaido.
She can fight with Kaido for a couple days. I mean, that's skilled. Skilled fighter. She's a skilled fighter. Relax.
She's got many techniques.
It's just that Albaf spear is too strong to hit anyone.
Yeah.
It's that meme that we've talked about for weeks. Mm-hmm. If it actually hits someone, it would destroy them and annihilate them. So it can't hit anyone. Right? So we've talked about it. About to take a toll. Why are people convinced we're going to get individual fights? The Beast Pirates are real pirates. They're clearly just going to gang up on whoever they can. I think 1v1 fights are more order-based for more order-based characters. Because we want to see them. It's a shonen battle manga at the end of the day.
You can do
and we want one-on-ones.
Goons don't matter.
Goons don't matter. I mean, you could say that, but look at Alabasta, they're pirates.
You also want them.
Still 1v1s.
Yeah.
Everyone wants 1v1s.
All right.
Give us some 1v1s. From, Gaming Agency. Do you think Drake switching sides was rushed or well handled?
It's fine.
It works. It works for what it is.
You get caught out.
You get caught out. What's he gonna do?
What's the build up gonna be?
It works. I think it works.
There's a little bit of fake out with who's who and Queen.
Yeah,
some maybe fake.
I don't know that there needed to be a massive chapter long discussion. The intentions of
some interrogation or
some
something.
interrogation. I don't know that needed
Drake
to happen.
trying to fumble through the interrogation.
It's not like he switched sides because he was really never part of Kaido's army to begin with.
Yeah.
He's always a Marine spy, so he doesn't really have a loyalty to Kaido. So it doesn't really matter. He got caught out. So that's what it is. I think it works. I'm pretty excited to see Drake, what he could do. Finally, we get to see other supernovas in action. Alright. From Japanese Gym. Are the numbers really as strong as Oz that the Straw Hats fought? Also, is Excalibur equal to Kongan? First question. Oda keeps on saying it, so we have to take it for what it is.
Yeah.
Oda keeps on saying it. They're big as Oz, they're as strong as Oz. You know. It is what it is.
They are failed experiments, though, so...
Yeah. They're big, they're strong, you know.
Sure.
I guess...
Better than normal giants, for sure.
Sure. Also, is Excalibur equal to Kongan? Relax. The betrayal, the this, the that, okay.
Annoying,
alright? From Arnold Nobstar, or whatever. What do you think will be Shanks' role in the story? Will he die so Luffy can get revenge? Absolutely not. Right, that's a blasphemous statement on this show.
Shanks will be the man that fights alongside Luffy.
Will he be the last obstacle before the One Piece? Something completely different. Training, tests Luffy to see if he's worthy.
I can legitimately see Luffy and Shanks fight together in the Photo War.
Oh, yeah.
It's possible.
Of course. We'd love to see it.
Of course.
Love to see it. Now, if Shanks dies, I mean, come on. Buckbeard already killed Ace. How much motivation do we need?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, he did kill Ace, but...
Well,
yeah.
he he's the guy...
And Shanks can't die because he's in everyone's heart.
Yeah, right. From Asgal Thor. Yeah. Who will Rizo fight? Who cares?
Next question.
Rizo's not getting a 1v1.
One of the flying smile foot users.
Sure, Rizo's not getting a 1v1. Alright?
Fukurokuju.
From Dad. Forgot to mention it last week, but that a feat for Robin right there. She got Yonko level arms. Also, my question: do you guys have an underrated moment in One Piece that should be talked about more? Underrated moments in One Piece. It's normally the comedy moments that get underrated. Everyone knows about, the big ones. Zoro punches Celestial Dragon. Everyone knows about that.
Luffy punches Celestial Dragon, Christian. No one knows about Zoro's punching Celestial Dragon.
Zoro's nothing happened. I'm just listing events.
Sure.
But the smaller, quieter comedy moments. Luffy doing the Sanji impression, classic. Yeah. All right. What else? Usopp getting smacked in the face with a baseball bat, classic.
Classic.
Right.
Sure.
Usopp smacking his head in Dressrosa, classic.
Don't forget about that.
All right. Quite small moments. All right. From Lord Darkon, Kobe spread the gospel of Monkey D. I wonder what side Hawkins is going to take.
Luffy's.
We need that God card, all right? That God card is sitting there. It has to go to
Luffy's
Luffy.
about to lose.
All right, it's not going to go to Kid.
I use my God card.
All right.
Luffy gets gold Hawk and wins.
It's not going to go to Kid. It's going to go to Luffy, all right?
Yep.
Everyone knows that. All right, everyone knows that. From Mont, how bad will it be if there could an Ito versus Jack get off-screened?
Annoying, terrible.
Please. We need to pay off for Zoro.
You built it up.
It's the payoff for Zoro.
Pay it off.
Payoff for Zoro. All right. From who's left? Gwyn. Is it possible that Drake is innocent in any law and just a victim of circuses? No. He was there. He saw law. No. He helped him. They've got some deal going on.
There's a deal.
All right. From Captain said, how do you feel about the anime giving Sanji hardening again? They did it last time versus Daifuku as well. Stop.
Fake.
All right. It's like Batman having haki. Or having Armament haki.
Mm-hmm.
Relax. The black hardening coding.
How many questions are we going to get next week about that?
Oh, fuck.
Every time.
All right. Clarity. Sanji has Armament haki. He doesn't have Armament hardening. Never been shown.
There we go.
There you go. From Felipe. Why do you guys slander Sanji in every opportunity?
Memes.
It's memes.
We like Sanji.
We love Sanji. We like Sanji.
We want to see him get a fight.
All right. But now, a serious question. In the last chapter, we saw that Oda showed Jinbei and Zoro instead of Sanji and Zoro, like he usually does in the Monster Trio dynamic. Has it changed? How do you guys feel about that? Too early to say. Now, the order of fights does matter. It goes Sanji, Zoro, Luffy.
We'll see if that changes.
If that changes, if it goes Sanji, Jinbei, Zoro, Luffy,
or
that's
Sanji, Zoro, Jinbei, Luffy.
Alright. Whatever the order.
I think people underestimate how big of an impact Jinbei actually is. I think they're downplaying it.
Jinbei's a massive asset.
I think the intent of Oda using Jinbei in the crew may become legitimately the second-hand man.
Alright.
It's a possibility. Don't write it off. He's been that man for way too long. Now he's a permanent part of the crew.
Alright. Last question for the episode. If they knew Drake was a traitor, why didn't they attack him earlier when the Toby Ropo were all together? I think Hawkins told them.
That's what it's implicated.
Yeah. I think Hawkins told him recently. He just worked it out. Maybe they're waiting for an opportunity to do something.
Yeah.
You know. All right. And that's the episode.
Shags Christian is the
God King. Good night.